Welcome to a behind-the-scenes look at the room's Collecting the Great War exhibition. One of the purposes of this exhibition is to document and collect stories, artifacts, photographs, and other memorabilia related to Newfoundland and Labrador during the First World War, in preparation for a permanent exhibition we are developing that will open on July 1st, 2016. But what happens to the artifacts when they come through our doors? Let's ask our staff to find out.
Hi, I'm Heather, and I'm a museum technician here at the Rooms for the First World War project, and I'm one of the first people you would see when you come into the First World War exhibit. Visitors who come in bringing us stories or items, they would sit down and talk with either myself or one of my coworkers, and we would record as much of your story as we possibly can. If you bring in items such as artifacts or photographs, letters, memorabilia, then we record those as well, and I will show you how. So this is a knitting bag that was brought in by one of our donors. This is a portable photo box we have set up just for the purpose of documenting items like this. So we would photograph this. We also scan items that come in, such as letters, photographs, other paperwork. So we do that here in this area. Once we've done that and documented everything that a visitor has brought in, we would contact either a curator for artifacts or an archivist for any paper materials, and they would come up and sit down with the visitor and go over the items further.
Hi, my name is Carrie Button. I'm Curator of History, First World War Project here at the Rooms Provincial Museum Division. As part of our 2016 First World War exhibition, we are collecting the stories, artifacts, photographs, memorabilia, and anything to do with your family's First World War experiences. When a donor comes in, a curator such as myself could be called up to come and assess the object and determine if its relevance for the collection and for the exhibition, such as this knitting bag. This bag tells the story of the women's war effort and how women in Newfoundland and Labrador contributed to the war effort. After this bag has been accepted and through paperwork, it then goes to the conservation lab.
Hi, I'm Rose. I'm the conservator at the Rooms Provincial Museum. When you donate something to us, we make a promise to you that our artifact will stay in at least as good condition as it was when you came in, when you brought it in, and also that we want to ensure that no object introduces problems into our storage areas, which are very high standard. So every object is examined when it comes in for any unstable conditions, and those conditions are dealt with. And particularly, we want to make sure that there are no infestations. If there's any risk based on the materials, then it will be frozen as a preventive measure, and that will be recorded. The other thing we want to make sure is that the object will be handled safely in all the following steps after it leaves the lab. So in the case of this knitting bag, which is a simple canvas with wool and silk embroidery, the things that it's going to be vulnerable to is creasing and soiling. So what we've done is just provided a simple acid-free cardboard support, and then it will go into a simple Ziploc bag, polyethylene Ziploc bag, which is also acid-free, which will make it much easier for people to handle it safely and all the other steps that it comes from. So when I put this in here, it will be ready to go to the processing room for cataloging and research.
So in the processing lab, the artifacts come here to be cataloged, and that involves taking down physical information. So we measure the artifact, and that is done for storage and display purposes. And we also record item or information such as color, and we also record materials. And then once all the catalog record is completed, it goes into an electronic database, and then it is moved down to permanent storage.
Once an artifact finishes being processed, a collections manager transports it to the vault for storage until it is ready for display. The vault has very rigid climate controls. Temperature is 17 degrees Celsius with a relative humidity of 50%. It will ensure a longer life for the artifact. Access is restricted, but appointments can be made to see an artifact or collection.
Now you know what happens to artifacts that are donated to the rooms. Stay tuned for future videos that will show you how we put them on display.